Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be working on problem number given build array from permutation. It's number 1920. So the problem goes as something like given a zero-based permutation nums zero index, build an array answer of the same length, where answer index I is equal to nums of nums index I, and for each zero is less than or equal to I, which is less than nums.length, and return it. Okay, not really sure what that means. A zero-based permutation nums is an array of distinct integers from 0 to nums.length minus 1 inclusive. So let's take a look at the example. We have 0, 2, 1, 5, 3, 4, and that output is 0, 1, 2, 4, 5, 3. The array answer is built as follows. So you have nums of nums index 0, and then of index 1, and then nums of nums index 2, and so on and so forth. So for example, you have nums index 0, which is this right here, is 0. So nums of index of that, of the output of this, right, is, so nums index 0 is 0. And then nums of nums index 1, so first we find nums index 1, which is 1. So nums index 1 is, nums index 1, I was looking at the output by mistake. Nums index 1 is 2, so nums index 2, which is this right here, is 1. So it's pretty straightforward now that I look at it. So let's take a look at the constraints. 1 is less than or equal to nums.length, which is less than 1000, and 0 is less than nums index I dot length, which is less than nums.length, and the elements in nums are all distinct. Okay, so that's one edge case that we don't have to worry about. So let me set my timer here to work on it. So just to give you a little bit context about the channel, I have never worked on the problems before. Sometimes when I do, I will make sure I notify you, and those previous submissions were wrong. So this is the first time I'm doing this. It's an easy level problem. So I think the first step is pretty straightforward. We can loop, for loop through the array, but even before that we need an output array of same size as nums.length, right? Once we have that, first we need to find, alright, so we need to incrementally nums index 0. We need to find out what that number is in that for loop array. Within the loop, find the index of the nums index I, then pass in that, then pass that in as a variable, and retrieve that nums sub I, so that new index value from nums, and assign it to the output array. Okay, and the output array will be also part of that for loop. So we have nums sub 0 is 0, right? Or let's take a look at this example. Nums sub 0 is 5. So then nums index 5 is 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is 4. So output index I, which was 0, was 4. So pretty straightforward example, and we don't have to worry about edge cases. So int output equals new int, and in here we're going to put nums.length. And then what we're going to do is for int I equals 0, I is less than nums.length, I plus plus, and in here we need to do is find the index, so it's nums index 0, right? Int cur index equals nums index I, and then output index I equals nums at cur index. And in the end, we just return output. So basically, we assign cur index to nums index I. So that cur index will be nums index I, which is 0, and cur index is 0, so nums output index I, which is 0, equals nums index nums of cur index. Let's take a look at this one. So we can test it right now. Something like this. So you have nums, right? Nums index I, or cur index, equals nums index I, which is, in our case, 5, right? And then output index I, output equals, so output is going to be an array, so index I, which is 0, equals nums, which is this right here, of cur index, which is 5, so it's going to give you 4. And so on and so forth. So let's run the code and see what we get. And let's run all the other test cases. And let's submit this. Okay, so the success rate was 1 millisecond, so this is pretty good. Lastly, we can just talk about the runtime. So runtime is O of n, because we are parsing through the array just once, so it's a linear scan. And then for each scan, what we're just going to be doing is finding the corresponding index. So I hope this helps, and thank you for coming back to my channel. Please do like and subscribe if you do like what you saw. I always do problems usually for the first time. So this is to replicate the interview process as close as possible. Thanks again for watching, and bye.